So today we are presenting a 61-year-old male, pre-diabetic, hypertensive, with peripheral neuropathic pain, degenerative disc disease, and disc herniation. History of environmental toxin exposure, significant exposure to arsenic, lead, tungsten, antimony, thallium, cadmium, cesium, nickel, niobium, rubidium, and titanium, and other heavy metals, working as a boilermaker in a refinery and a steel mill. The medications were latensin, hydrochlorothiazide, and fenofibrate and vitamin D. The symptoms were brain fog, sciatica pain, lumbar spine pain, inability to sleep due to pain. Sitting and standing for long periods of time caused significant pain and lower quality of life. So based on the questions that were asked, this is a numeric rating scale. It's one of the most commonly used pain scales in medicine, and it consists of a numeric version of the visual analog scale. So if we look at here, 10 was what was rated at the highest point, is the highest level of pain. And then over the course of 3 months, the pain got better, went down to, on the best pain was a score of 3. We also asked questions on the PROMIS scale, which was a quality of life scale. And you can see here that the score here was 0.7156. The maximum score is 0.8768. So this quality of life was improving. And of course, the global mental health, this was really important because you can see a significant difference here. What was really significant was the back pain. And here you can see, and the back pain was a score of 10 and significantly lower by 3 months, which we can see here. And the leg pain as well, over the course of 3 months, the leg pain was significantly, or the neuropathic pain that he was experiencing was significantly reduced. So now I'm going to go ahead and give a testimonial disclaimer. So the testimonial given reflects real life experiences and opinions of users. However, experiences are personal to those particular users and may not necessarily be representative of all the users of our products. We do not claim, and you should not assume, that all users will have the same experiences, and your individual results may vary. So we present Glenn Burr, peripheral neuropathic nerve pain, 95% gone after clean slate, and increased mental clarity using Zero In. And well, Glenn, why don't you tell us about your story, your history, and your job, the job that you have. You can start there.
Yep. So, I worked for a long time, and I started in the late 70s working in a steel mill, and from there I went to just about every chemical plant, all refinery, powerhouse all over the United States, and I was a union boilermaker, so I traveled a lot, job to job, and all those metals that you mentioned, those are also things that I welded on, those metals. I got introduced to root from a friend of mine, Caleb Wright, and kind of got me started on it. But before I ever started on it, we found out that Clayton's home office is here in the Nashville area, which is about 30 minutes from where I live. And so I got to meet Clayton firsthand, in person, the myth, the legend. And really, I was very, very skeptical of all of this. I mean, I'm just being honest. I've tried many, many detox products. I've tried a lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrients, a lot of different things. I like to call myself the human lab rat because I experiment on myself a little bit with all these things. Anyway, before I ever even tried the root product, Clayton had given me 3 home urinalysis for heavy metals.
Here we go, right here.
Yep. So prior to taking the first one, I had not tried root at all, and so that gave us a baseline. This was all through Clayton's directive: don't take the product, take the first sample and send it off. And then I started the root, 1 drop twice a day, accelerated each day by 1 drop. So day 2 was 2 drops twice a day. Day 10 was 10 drops. Day 10 was 10 drops twice a day. And then
so that explains this then, because I was kind of curious about the test results, because normally when we see these test results, we see you got them on right straight away on 10 drops the full time. But what I thought was really interesting, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the creatinine levels have reduced significantly over that period of time. I think that's really significant. You see that, Clayton? It was like 108, 62, 55. This is really good.
The second test, I would have been at 7 drops twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third test would show me at 10 drops twice a day. And actually now I just take the whole dropper full 2 or 3 times a day. Because I like the stuff. I like what it does for me. So what does it do for me? The big thing for me is the mental clarity that I experience when it's like a fog was lifted. I think clearer. I'm more alert. I can hear myself talk better, if that makes any sense to anybody. Doesn't to me, but I'm not sleeping longer, but I am sleeping better.
Yeah,
and then the bonus.
I think, Glenn, when you and I spoke, when you first started, you weren't even getting more than 4 hours of sleep, and I think like now you were getting a little
That's
bit
correct.
more, close to 6 hours maybe. It is improving slightly.
A little bit. My sleep has improved so dramatically. Just the quality of sleep. I know everybody dreams when they sleep. Everybody does. It's what they say anyway. But I never did. I never knew that there were dreams. And that might be due to the constant pain or the medications I was taking for a long, long time. I'm not sure what the cause was, but now I do dream. I actually remember some of my dreams. When I wake up, I'm like, holy moly, where did that come from? Anyway, it's kind of neat. It's kind of fun. And then the last thing is I have neuropathy in my feet. Really bad toe pain, toe and foot pain. It's mostly in my toes, and not so much now. Not so much now. I can honestly say that is 90% not there. It's still there, but not 90% of that pain is gone. I mean, I don't even think about it unless I'm talking about it, and rarely do I feel it in such a way that it bothers me like before. So there's this path of detox that's taking place in my body. And you showed the lab results earlier, so there's evidence. There's real evidence that this stuff is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's working. It's working. And the zero in. So I'll tell you about that. I got that, and again, I'm skeptical of everything. So I got the zero in a few months back, and I tried one, and I was like, well, this isn't doing anything. And I tried one again the next day, and again, I'm not feeling it. 3 or 4 days in a row, 1 pill a day. And then Caleb had said, well, you kind of big boy there, 200 pounds and 200 plus pounds and 6'2". So you might want to double up on them. Try 2 a day. So there you go. I did. The very first day that I took 2, that was quite an experience in itself, because the awareness that I had. I drive Uber and Lyft, and sometimes I can drive for 10, 12 hours at a time. And the awareness that I had, the fact that I didn't have that road nodding, where you drive so much and you just start getting hypnotized by the traffic on the road. I didn't experience any of that. It was crazy. But the first time I took 2 pills, I was like, wow, I didn't get jitters. I wasn't bouncing all over the place, or turning up the radio, which I do sometimes. But it was just a clarity of mind, and I was alert and awake. And when I got home, I went straight to sleep. So it didn't prevent me from sleeping, just kept me alert and aware while I was finishing my shift. It was pretty neat. I take them 2 at a time now. And then the latest and greatest product, with the soft skin stuff. I just started on that a few days ago. I haven't tried it as a mask, but it tastes good. It's fine. I think it's helping with my gut, as is what it's supposed to do. Changing my constitution, because when you take all these medicines, there's side effects, and then there's side effects, and I kind of feel like it might be countering some of the side effects, like constipation and irritable bowel. I don't know. I just started it a few days ago. It's helped a lot, though, in that area. What else?
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Pretty good start, right?
Yeah.
We're just getting going.
Excellent start. I can't live without this stuff, Clayton. And
Hey,
I love it.
watching
I
your results has been phenomenal. And I think the important part, is like we talked about when we were together, but you've mentioned the profession that you were in. You now have had an experience that, is pretty easy to translate to an entire population of people that all have the same career path. Their exposure is all identical. And, I think that's the important part, like I've hit on, of being able then, once you have the outcomes and you understand the pathway. And I have to give a lot of thanks to Dory and to Tina and Christina and Juja and Dr. Keshkesh, and I'm probably missing a couple, for, really tying together the collaboration with ISNS to start tracking the data. And this is what's so crucial for everybody here to understand, is there's a lot of companies that talk about science and talk about, claims of having stuff. There's never been a nutraceutical company that, one, has had the desire, but two, had the ability to track outcome data the way that we're starting to do it. And the level of acumen that's here with Christina, with Dory, and the other docs, most of them are PhDs. The level of intellectual capital that is possessed here is the equivalent of what biotech companies are very, very happy to have. And just being able to watch, because what we've been seeing before, like on our Testimonial Tuesdays, the outcomes are absolutely insane. And I've been doing this for 16 years. I've seen and done some really cool stuff in people and animals over 16 years. The outcomes that we're getting in this community are unlike anything I've ever seen before. And it makes me giggle more than taking 4-0 in and a couple sachets of Restore. An athletic performance perspective, had I had this stuff and I was competing, I would have been taking 3 or 4 before, during workouts and before competition. And with the testing that we're doing with some athletes, if there are athletes that are doing this for elite competition, they will destroy records and they will have an advantage over their competition, unlike anything we've ever seen before. So it's not for everyone. I recommend to do that on a daily basis. And many people, I was reading some experiences earlier today, a lot of people can't take 0 daily. And, they'll cycle it, one day on, one day off. And some people find that a couple times a week. I'll use it kind of as needed when I know my day is going to be crazy. But on weekends, instead of doing 2, because I'm like Glenn, I'll use 2 in the morning and I'm good for the day. On weekends, if I want to feel really good and, I'll take 3 just to make sure I feel really good. That's me.
Are you saying you're taking 3 at one time or 3 throughout the day?
3 at once. And I love it. It is, and this is the thing, everybody is their own clinical trial of one, right? And our biochemistry is all different. And so really, when you look at dopamine and serotonin, kind of like Glenn was talking about, based on size, based on stress levels, we have a friend, she's been taking 2 and she's like, I don't feel it. I'm like, you might need 3 or 4 at a time because of the stress that she endures 16, 18 hours a day in her job, that her cortisol levels are so high that her production of neurotransmitters is so beaten down that getting them up to a level that she's going to feel really good is going to just take more work. And so there's a question about, using them on a daily basis. If you're a power lifter, test it. Can't hurt you. This is the big part. It's not going to hurt you. But you will find what works for you. And when you compare the alternatives, $1 US, $1.30 a capsule, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, you will not find more value from a performance perspective in any aspect of life anywhere. Whether it's narcotic, whether it's, I'll use psilocybin, whether it's nutraceutical or caffeine or whatever other product you want, there is not a comparison, price and outcomes and performance, that you will find comparable in the market. I've yet to find one. It's been mentioned many times on social media, and I've had a lot of conversations with people. It's why we're doing a lot of work in the addiction and the recovery space. And here's one thing for everybody. If you have friends that have an addiction past or are in the process or are in recovery, you will do them a phenomenal, amazing favor by having them get the Trinity and use it. It's really, really important to know that we have so many benefits for people. But all three products, right? There's a reason that there's warnings on the label of Restore and Zero In that are pretty straightforward. And it's not don't use them if you have these issues. It's if you have these issues, you're probably being medicated and treated for them, and you're going to need to collaborate with your healthcare professional because these things work so well that you're probably going to need to make changes. And if you don't, your body is going to let you know that you need to make changes. And we've seen that over and over and over again. And Dory, if Matt made a comment about horses, that's a slang term.
Okay.
Yep.
Glenn, I would just want to say thank you so much for jumping on the call and being our first case study. So you're making root history, or ISNS history, I should say. Thank you.
What else we got? Or is that
He's muted.
Oh, I muted him because he was getting in the car.
I am so honored and I feel so privileged to be in the company of such great minds and people that are actually changing lives. And I feel like my life has been changed for the better in multiples. So it was a great honor and a great pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And then we'll check back in with you, like say, for example, 3 months from now and see where you are, because you're just starting your journey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go visit with Clayton when I get a chance and he has a moment. Maybe I can get another sit down with him and we can talk some too.
Do your facials now. Good to the left drop.
Come on down.
I will do one facial. I will try. What is it?
Got to do the facial.
Yeah.
You got to do the facial. But everyone has a standing invitation to come to town.
I want to challenge everybody because my face is glowing, and it is because of the Restore. I did it for 5 days. You can see also on my hands, I have a left hand is, maybe you can see it other than the right. So I challenge everybody to make a live video on your Facebook. And if you are a little bit scared, because it's not easy to do it in English for a lot of people, but then do it with pictures, because if everybody can see what Restore is doing for us in the whole world, I think we are going to blow up Facebook and Instagram. And it is very important to let's see that Root is the business, not the business, but the product for us to show to the whole world, because it is so, it's fun, it works, and we need to blow up Facebook and Instagram. So I take this book. Here you can see, I dare you. It is from Fraser Brooks, but I dare you too to make a challenge for everybody to make it fit to Restore. Come on, please. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, because we need to do like baseline, then we can do 1 month, 3 months, and have this. I mean, this would be really amazing to see the difference. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much.
Have a nice evening.